Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my read aloud series for The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and this is going to be chapter 35. I thought this was the end of the chapter, but apparently there's one more chapter after this. But yeah, I'm getting very close to being done. I only have 6 more pages to read, so I just want to get right into it. If you want to check out my read aloud series for chapters 1 through 34, click down on the playlist down in the description box below, and let's just get right into it. So this chapter is has a kind of a sad title. It's called Poor Huck, and it's not a good sign for the title of a chapter. And it starts on page 229 and it ends on page 234. So I'm just gonna get right into it. The reader may rest satisfied that Tom's and Huck's windfall made a mighty stir in the poor little village of St. Petersburg. So vast a sum, all in actual cash, seemed next to incredible. It was talked about, gloated over, glorified, until the reason of many of the citizens tottered under the strain of the unhealthy excitement. Every haunted house in St. Petersburg and the neighborhood villages was dissented plank by plank, and its foundations dug up and ransacked for hidden treasures, and not by boys, by men, but men, pretty grave, unromantic men too, some of them. Wherever Tom and Huck appeared, they were courted, admired, stared at. The boys were not able to remember that their remarks had possessed weight before, but now their sayings were treasured and repeated. Everything they did seemed somehow to be regarded as remarkable. They had evidently lost the power of doing and saying commonplace things. Moreover, their past history was wrapped up and discovered to bear marks of conspicuous originality. The village paper published biographical sketches of the boys. The widow Douglas put Huck's money out at 6%, and Judge Thatcher did the same with Tom's and Aunt Polly's request. Each laid an income now that was simply prodigious. Prodigious. I don't know. I think that's how you say that. $1 for every weekday in the year and a half of the Sundays. It was just what the minister got. No, it was what he was promised. He generally couldn't collect it. $1.25 a week would board, lodge, and school a boy in those old simple days, and clothe him and wash him too, for that matter. Judge Thatcher had conceived a great opinion of Tom. He said that no commonplace boy would have ever got his daughter out of the cave. When Becky told her father in strict confidence how Tom had taken her weeping at school, the judge was visibly moved. And when she pleaded grace for the mighty lie which Tom had told in order to shift that whipping from her shoulders to his own, the judge said with a fine outburst that it was a noble, a generous, a magnacious, I don't know how to say that lie. A lie that was worthy to hold up its head and march down through history breast to breast with George Washington's looted truth about the hatchet. Becky thought her father had never looked so tall and so superb as when he walked the floor and stomped his foot and said that. She went straight off and told Tom about it. Judge Thatcher hoped to see Tom a great lord or a great soldier some day. He said he meant to look to it that Tom should be admitted to the National Military Academy and afterwards trained in the best law school in the country in order that he might be ready for either career or both. Huck Finn's wealth and the fact that he was now under the widow Douglas' protection introduced him into society. No dragged him into it, hurt him into it, and his sufferings were almost more than he could bear. The widow's servants kept him clean and neat combined, and neat and combed and brushed, and they bedded him nightly in unsympathetic sheets that had no little spot or stain which he could press to his heart and know for a friend. He had to eat with a knife and fork. He had to use napkin, cup, and plate. He had to learn his book. He had to go to church. He had to talk so properly that speech was becoming insipid in his mouth. Withsoever he turned, the bars and shackles of civilization shut him and bound him hand and foot. He bravely bore his miseries for 3 weeks, and then one day turned up missing. For 48 hours the widow hunted for him everywhere in distress. The public were profoundly concerned. They searched high and low. They dragged the river for his body. Early the third morning, Tom Sawyer wisely went poking among some old empty hog-sheds down the abandoned slaughterhouse, and in one of them he found the refugee. Huck had slept there. He had just feasted upon some stolen odds and ends of food and was lying off now in comfort with his pipe. He was unkempt, uncombed, and clad in some old ruins of rags that had made him picture askew in the days when he was free and happy. Tom rooted him out, told him the trouble he had been causing, and urged him to go home. Huck's face lost its tranquil content and took a melancholy cast. He said, "Don't talk about it, Tom. I've tried it, and it don't work. It don't work, Tom. It ain't for me. I ain't used to it. The Wider's good for me and friendly, but I can't stand them anyways. She make me get up just at the same time every morning. She makes me wash. They comb me all to thunder. She won't let me sleep in the woodshed. I got to wear the blamed clothes that just smothers me. Tom, they don't seem to let any air get through them somehow, and they're so nice that I can't sit down, nor lay down, nor roll around anywheres. I hain't slid on a cellar floor for, well, it appears to be years. I got to go to church and sweat and sweat. I hate them ordinary sermons. I can't catch a fly in there. I can't chaw. I got to wear shoes all Sunday. The widow eats by a bell. She goes to bed by a bell. She gets up by a bell. Everything's so awful regular, a body can't stand it. Well, everybody does that way, Huck. Tom, it don't make no difference. I ain't everybody, and I can't stand it. It's awful to be tied up, and grub comes to easy. I don't take no interest in victuals that way. I got to ask to go a fishing. I got to ask to go in a swimming. Darned if I hadn't got to ask to do everything. Well, I got to talk so nice, it wasn't no comfort. I got to go up in the attic and rip out a while every day to get a taste in my mouth. Or I died, Tom. The widow wouldn't let me smoke. She wouldn't let me yell. She wouldn't let me gape nor stretch nor scratch before folks. And then in parentheses, he says, then with a spasm of special irritation and injury. And then the parentheses close. And Dad, fetch it. She prayed all the time. I never did see such a woman. I had to shove. Tom, I just had to. And besides, that school's going to open and I had to go to it. Well, I wouldn't stand that, Tom. Looky here, Tom. Ben Rich ain't what it's cracked up to be. It's just worry and sweat and a washing you was dead all the time. Now these clothes suits me and this bottle suits me and I ain't ever going to shake 'em anymore. Tom, I wouldn't go into all this trouble if I hadn't have been for that money. Now you just take my share of it along with yourn and give me a 10-center sometimes, not many times, because I don't give a darn for a thin. Vout it's tolerable hard to get, and you go and beg off for me with the wider. Oh, Huck, you can't. You know I can't do that. 'Tain't fair, and besides, if you try this thin just a while longer, you'll come to like it. Like it, yes, the way I liked a lot of. I liked hot stuff stove if I was on it long enough. No, Tom, I won't be rich, and I won't live in them Q's smoothery houses. I like the woods and the river and hog sheds, and I'll stick to blame. To blame it all. Just a weed got guns, a cave, and just fixed to rob. Here, this darn foolishness has got to come up and spile it all. Tom saw his opportunity. Looky here, Huck. Being rich ain't going to keep me back from turning robber. No, oh good licks. Are you in real deadwood earnest, Tom? Just as dead earnest as I am. I'm a sitting here. But Huck, we can't let you into the game if you ain't respectable, you know. Huck's joy was quenched. Let me in, Tom. Didn't you let me go for a pirate? Yes, but that's different. A robber is more high toned than what a pirate is, as a general thing. In most countries, they're awful high up in the nobility, dukes and such. Now, Tom, hain't you always been friendly to me? You wouldn't shut me out, and would you, Tom? You wouldn't do that now, would you, Tom? Huck, I wouldn't want to, and I don't want to, but what would people say? Why, they'd say, Tom Sawyer's game, pretty low characters in it. They'd mean you, Huck. You wouldn't like that, and I wouldn't. Huck was silent for some time, engaged in a mental struggle. Finally, he said, well, I'll go back to the wider for a month and tackle it and see if I can come to stand it. If you'll let me belong to the game, Tom. All right, Huck. It's a whiz. Come along, old chap, and I'll ask the widow to let up on you a little, Huck. Will you, Tom? Now, will you? That's good. If she'll let up on some of the roughest things, I'll smoke private and cuss private and crouch through a bust when you going to start the game and turn robbers. All right off. We'll get the boys together and have the initiation tonight, maybe. Have the initiation. What's that? It's to swear to stand by one another and never tell the game's secrets, even if you're chopped all your fingers off, and kill anybody and all his family that hurts one of the game. That's gay. That's mighty gay, Tom, I tell you. Well, I bet it is, and all that swearing got to be done at midnight in the lonesomest, awfulest place you could find a haunted house in the best, but they're all ripped up now. Well, midnight's good anyhow, Tom. Yes, so it is, and you've got to swear on a coffin and sign it with blood. Now that's something I like. Why it's a million times bullier than a pirate. I'll stick to the wider till I rot, Tom, and if I get to a regular ripper of a robber and everybody talking about it, I reckon she'll be proud she snaked me in out of the wet. And then that's the end of the chapter. And I just hit my mic. Overall, I thought that was a pretty good chapter. I thought that was a pretty good ending to the book. I mean, it's not fully over yet. There's one more chapter, but I thought that was a pretty good ending. You know, pretty much Huck finally got exposed to what the real life was since he's been homeless and stuff. And you know, obviously he didn't like it. He tried to go away from it because he didn't want to get used to it. He liked his old lifestyle. And, you know, obviously everybody was praising Tom because of all of his successes that he had. And I guess Tom, to get Huck to stay in that lifestyle, got him to be robbers with him. And overall, I just thought it was a great ending. But that's pretty much the end of this Read Aloud series. I got one more to do, and then I'm done. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and share this video. So that way people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video, you guys will get the notification for it. And make sure you guys do the same for the CM Brothers YouTube channel. Subscribe and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video on that channel, you guys will get the notification for it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.